feel the oneness of what that really means, and try to really work your mind to work everything, no matter what it looks like, into that one whole. That is powerful. That is power. That's empowering to me. That means I dictate my life. I control my life. I choose my life for myself. And there's nothing that can stand in my way, nothing to stop me, nothing to say no, Zeb, today. That's not in the model. So that's, for me, the first step to developing this power is what is your concept of the divine, of God? What is your concept? What are your beliefs around that? How big is it? Is there something that's bigger than it? Is there something that has part of its power or something? No. For me, it's not. For me, it's all powerful, ever present, always there, completely and totally in every part of life. And so, consider letting go, if you have any of those old concepts, consider letting go of that God of the past and taking on a much bigger and broader belief of what God is. And take this concept of oneness and sit with it for a while, work with it until you can replace the old paradigm with a new paradigm. That's my advice. And so, taking a little segue here, I've looked. This will help us with our discovery here. I've looked at different ways to approach life, and there's lots of different ways. One way in Dr. John Waterhouse's book, Five Steps to Freedom, is he categorizes life very simply into either life being experienced or expressed. Life is either experienced or expressed. If life is experienced, then that means you are detecting it with your senses. If you're experiencing life as seeing it, smelling it, tasting it, touching it, feeling it. And expressing life is anything that you think, say, and do. So expressing life, experiencing life. I did some work around this with my purpose. So I've defined my purpose and developed a purpose statement around it that says, my purpose is living an experience of freedom and guiding to it all others who desire the same. Living an experience of freedom and guiding to it all others who desire the same. That's why I feel that I'm here, and that's what I'm doing in my life. And so I did this exercise for a while. Every evening I would sit down in my journal and think back through the day of ways that I saw freedom expressed and freedom experienced. And I would write down, journal style, ways I saw freedom expressed and freedom experienced. And it was a very powerful exercise. And what it ended up coming around to after a good amount of time of doing it every day was that it boiled down to a formula. It started with because it started out with, are these things, they kind of slowly but surely grew together into, okay, so the expression and the experience are somehow linked. I was, either something in my life that I expressed or experienced, or I would witness it in someone else's life, but they're intrinsically linked. And so I said, so how does this work? Where's the starting point? What it boiled down to is, and what I got to is that, in that case, freedom, in our case, prosperity, it applies to any idea. It's an idea to start. The idea of prosperity in this case, expressed, causes the experience. So you have the idea, you express it, that sets the law into motion, law of cause and effect, and it causes the effect of the experience of that. So the idea of prosperity expressed causes the experience of prosperity. Isn't that cool? And so how we can work with that is, now that we know that it's an idea that we have to start with, we know that we have to develop the power internally to express, take that second step. We have the idea, then we express. And so we develop that power internally that way. And now the second part is the actual expression of it. And the best, and this is my favorite part, because you can, Zeb, man, I've contemplated the oneness, brother. I contemplated the oneness for 10 years. My life looks exactly like it did. Nothing really changed. I contemplated the oneness. I got the idea of prosperity. It's right here, crystal clear, what prosperity looks like. It's supposed to look like in my life. And I just got an eviction notice. I just picked my car up. They came and took the couch out from under me while I was meditating. Because you have to take that second step and express the idea into life. have to express prosperity into your life, the idea of prosperity into your life. And so, how do we do that? How do we express prosperity? Or how do we express anything? And do we just go around, okay, I got this idea, I'm just going to throw prosperity everywhere and just hope it works out. I'm just going to haphazardly go around and just paint my life with prosperity. That might work, but I don't think so. For me, you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan, a planned way to express prosperity in your life. Develop a plan for yourself. And now, the greatest thing about this, the reason I love this part of it so much is because the action part. It's the action part, and you get benchmarkable results. You get results, man. You can count it. You can count your results, and it's so great. Or you don't get any results, and you change your plan. And so that's the greatest thing. I love this action step. It's awesome because it's benchmarkable results based on the idea. And so because what is prosperity really? Prosperity. Most of the time we think about money, when we think about prosperity. But for me, prosperity is love. For me, prosperity is health. But those concepts are so, how can, if you think you have the most love in your life, raise your hand in the room, If you think you have the most health in your life, raise your hand. But there's no way we could ever count that, But money, on the other hand, money is benchmarkable. You can reach in your pocket and pull out wise $100 bills. You can look at your bank account and see what's in there. Money it's a benchmarkable way to measure prosperity. And that's why it's generally what we focus on, because it's the easiest way. I can't look at someone's life and say, oh, they have a lot of love in their life, They may or they may not. And the circumstances don't always match up with whether or not they do. And same thing with health. Someone can look perfectly healthy and not be that way. So it's, the money is very important. That's what I love about this. Benchmarkable results, and it's action. It's taking steps. And so how do we develop this plan? What can we do? What are the steps to developing the plan? I can tell you this. You can ask yourself these questions. First, money-wise. How much money do I want in my life? How much? How much cash do I want in my life? How much do I want to see when I look at the Bank of America or whatever your bank is online, you go in there and check it out. How much do I want to see? Merrill Lynch, my investment account. What do I want to see in there? And so, how much do I want and why? Why is so important? Why is, it's so important. That's your purpose with this particular amount of money. Now, does this mean it's your life purpose? No. Napoleon Hill in The Law of Success, it's a great book. It's one of those 600-pagers, it takes time, but it's a great book. And what he says is, he tells a story about how his desire was to have a business and salesmanship school. And so he reckoned that he needed $25,000 for this school to do advertising, things like that. And so he spent about 6 weeks researching and putting together a plan. And he targeted a school, the owner of the school. There was like a trade school or something that didn't necessarily have a business and salesmanship classes there. So it would be something new and exciting for that school. And this was a smaller school that had to, was in more or less fierce competition with bigger schools that have more resources and were able to attract more people. And so Napoleon Hill goes to this owner of this school, and and by the way, he needed $25,000. I think I said that. And so he goes to the owner of the school and he proposes this plan that he spent a few weeks putting together with something like this. I propose that you open a new department in your school and call it a business and salesmanship department. I'll be the head of that department. You do everything necessary marketing-wise to get people to come and advertise you have a new department in your school. That'll be something new and exciting, and will attract new people. They will come to your school and to go to my department. As part of that, they will see the other things that you offer, and you will have, just by the law of large numbers, by the law of averages, and having more traffic in your school, your income will go up on your other classes as well. All of the money from this earned from the classes that are paid for from my department comes to me as the department head, and I will pay all of that to you up to a point. Once you have realized once you have gotten your money back for all the money out that you expended out to get people to come in marketing wise, after that point, what I ask in return is that you allow this department, my department, to be a standalone entity, and I can keep it here or go and do whatever I want to do with it, but it's mine. And so the guy said, well, okay, let me think. All right, I'm having trouble competing with these other schools. This is something new, fresh, and exciting. This guy's going to take care of everything. He's going to pay me off the top everything that I spent. So I get all my money back, increase in other sales, and I'll overall my school prospers over time. Sure, I'll do it. Of course the guy took it. It's a great deal.